Phoenix Motor Speedway, March 25th. Mickey York goes for a slide out of turn 4. Lady Luck is frowning on the 1992 champion. Lanier, Georgia, April 8th. He goes for another wild spin out of turn 4. Myrtle Beach Speedway, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Husqvarna 100. Mickey York has claimed 3 checkered flags over the half-mile track.
Well, we feel good about it. You know, Cobra Electronics Pontiac runs good here, and we really love the racetrack. It fits my style of driving, and everything works real good for us here. Unfortunately, right now, we're chasing a little heating problem, so we're going to have to see.
While Mickey has had success here at Myrtle Beach, another driver has not been so lucky.
The only thing about being at Myrtle Beach, this is my 3rd trip here, and I hadn't finished a race yet. I've broke a motor every time I've been here, so it'll be exciting just to finish the dadgum race.
For Ed Howell, it's a new beginning with a new ride. Some drivers are here just to try the track out, to see what it's all about. Some of them are bringing brand new innovations to the sport. For many, it's the opportunity to go after a checkered flag, and that's what we're here for tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Hennessy. Welcome to Myrtle Beach Speedway, the 4th stop of the Goody's NASCAR Dash Series Tour. As we showed you at the top of the show, Mickey York has Lady Luck frowning on him for 2 weekends in a row. Maybe Lady Luck has continued to frown on Mickey. The story further up the pit lane with Lenny Baticki.
Gritting the cars down here, Bill, and Mickey York, a 3-time winner at the Speedway, is hustling into position. Mick, it has been quite a scramble back there. The car just making it to the grid. What's been happening?
Well, we changed the engines in it, Lenny, and I really don't know what happened. We developed a short. The guys have been struggling to get it ready, and they've got it. It seems to be fine, so we'll try to make it 4.
The veteran's confidence as his crew has got him into the grid just in the nick of time.
Lenny, the racing is keen in the Goody's NASCAR Dash Series. 3 different makes of cars have gone to victory lane in the first 3 races of the season. Hill Overton is standing by with 2 of those previous race winners here at Myrtle Beach.
We have a very distinct front row here this evening because both of these drivers have won the last 2 races in this series. To my left is the pole winner, Danny Bagwell, who won down at Lanier 2 weeks ago. Danny, what's it going to take to make it 2 in a row?
Hey, it's going to be tough. Robert's on the outside there. He's a great competitor. We got the TCI Prime Star Ford on the pole. Hopefully we can hang it out there and keep it going.
Track's changed since this afternoon. Will that change your running?
Oh, sure. It's a lot cooler. I feel it'll be a lot tighter. We've loosened the car up. Hopefully we didn't get too loose.
You've got some strong competition here in the form of Robert Huffman, who won at Florence I-95 a few weeks ago. Robert, you've got a stiff competitor to your outside. What's it going to take to beat him this evening?
Well, you know, I don't really know. Danny's a good competitor, and we race good with each other. You know, had a good race there at Lanier, and I think it'll be a good show for the fans tonight, and you know, just a good race to watch. And we'll just have to see who's there at the end.
30 cars are sitting on the grid here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. There were 43 here to qualify. 13 have gone home. We'll be back with the starting lineup in just a few moments. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Myrtle Beach Speedway, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Sun Fun City for the Husqvarna 100. I'm Bill Hennessy along with Hill Overton and Lenny Baticki to call the action here tonight. Starting in position number 30 will be Danny Snell from Harrison, Georgia. He's flanked by Fleet Cruz from Henderson, North Carolina. Both of those drivers into the race on provisional starts.
The last driver to make it in on time, Shane Jenkins from Banner Elk, North Carolina. He's in the 28th spot. Starting 27th will be Riverview, Florida's Donnie Duchene.
26th on the grid, the True Value Hardware Pontiac of Chris Brown, flanked by Carol Jenkins out of Statesboro, Georgia.
Out of the dirt tracks in South Carolina from Fort Lawn, it's Darrell Murray in the 24th position. Starting 23rd from Seminole, Florida will be Dwayne Haynes Jr.
Going 22nd, the Lucas Oil Torbett Trucking Chevrolet of Gary Moore, Horseshoe, North Carolina. He's flanked by Johnny Smith out of Taylorsville, North Carolina.
Pair of drivers from the Commonwealth State. Todd Hawks from DeWitt, Virginia starts 20th. In the 19th spot, John Redmond from Newington, Virginia.
A previous winner here at Myrtle Beach and the defending national champion Will Hobgood in the Wins Oil Pontiac. He's flanked by Ronnie Goodwin from Laurel Hill, North Carolina, a rookie driver.
One of the Midwest hot shoes in the series from Enon, Ohio, Dave Stacy starts 16th, while top rookie contender from Batesburg, South Carolina, Davis Myers will come off in the 15th spot.
Last year's Rookie of the Year goes 14th. That's Ernest Winslow, Scotland Neck, North Carolina. He's flanked by young driver Mike Swain Jr. from High Point, North Carolina.
Another hot young driver, B.J. Mackey out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, will start in the 12th position. Starting next to him in 11th will be Scott Weaver from Shelby, North Carolina.
10th on the grid, George Crenshaw, Lakeland, Florida, the Hadwin White Pontiac. Next to him, Ed Howell from Bradley Junction, Florida, and the Talton's Metal Ford.
Good qualifying run for Asheboro, North Carolina's Destry Gardner. He'll start in the 8th position. Starting 7th from Daytona Beach will be Dan Pardis.
Going 6th on the grid, Mickey York from Asheboro, North Carolina. He's flanked by Lyndon Amick from Batesburg, South Carolina.
Starting in the 4th position, carrying our Husqvarna in-car camera, Larry Caudle from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Alongside of him, David Hutto from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
A front row, Robert Huffman from Claremont, North Carolina. And on the inside will be Danny Bagwell from Birmingham, Alabama. Those two drivers leading the field down the back straightaway. We're in-car camera with Larry Caudle in the Husqvarna Dodge. Should be one heck of a race here this evening. This is one of the fastest tracks these cars race on. It's .538 miles in length. 12-degree banking in turns 3 and 4, 14 degrees in turns 1 and 2. This track is quick and it is also wicked. You can certainly set your name into the record book here at Myrtle Beach, but oftentimes you'll go away disappointed. There will only be one driver to take home the trophy here tonight. Danny Bagwell, Robert Huffman up on the front row, come down to take the green flag from Jimmy Howell. As they dive into turn number 1, the little Ford Probe takes up where it left off at Lanier, Georgia, going right to the lead. And Robert Huffman is there to do battle in that brand new Pontiac Sunfire.
The Sunfire on the outside going into corner number 3. The Ford Probe working strong on the inside. You can already see them testing each other here in lap number 1 as they come down toward start-finish line to finish off this first lap.
Lyndon Amick dropping into 5th place right behind Larry Caudle, and Mickey York riding in 6th now. York had his problems before the start of the race. It's questionable as how far his car can go, even though he's claimed 3 victories here at Myrtle Beach in his career.
With Bagwell pulling Huffman off the corners, you could see Hutto taking a look at either driver, trying to find position. Another thing in question has been the weather. NASCAR is hoping to get this race to the halfway point and then beyond, as there has been a threat of showers in the area here at Myrtle Beach.
David Hutto riding in 3rd place right behind the 2 leaders, shadowing them down the back straightaway. Huffman stands on the binders a little early. Bagwell gets into the quarter as they come off of turn 4, which has a dog leg here on the front straightaway. It's kind of like a mini Daytona. Bagwell your leader by 2 car lengths off the 2nd quarter down the back straightaway. Huffman in tow with Hutto riding in 3rd place. Now Huffman has raced here in late model stock cars during his layoff when he wasn't racing dash cars over the last couple of years. So he has some experience on this racetrack. Bagwell's Ford has always run here at Myrtle Beach very well. Unfortunately, he's never had a good finishing position until last August when he was able to capture a 2nd place.
The Alabama driver's car started to drift out on the racetrack, and there again he's out in the outer groove. This may be Robert Huffman's first shot at really getting the lead away from Danny Bagwell. They once again cross the start-finish line area. Bagwell's got a lot of power tonight, though, early here in the Ford.
Talking about his engine, it's a specially prepared engine. It's a 4-cylinder, but it has the head off of a Robert Yates Ford Winston Cup engine with a specially devised intake manifold. These cars race on 500 CFM Holley carburetors as we see Mickey York diving over to the inside of Larry Caudle. York trying to work his way towards the front. York does get by Larry Caudle off the 2nd quarter.
Boy, York's got to be happy and proud of his team after hustling to get into the starting grid. Now the car working well enough to get him into the 4th position. Once again, Robert Huffman easing around the rear end of the Bagwell car, trying to find a weakness in the Ford Probe. But right now, the Pontiac just going to have to rest and ride in the 2nd spot.
In-car camera with Larry Caudle right behind Mickey York, who just passed him a couple of laps ago, as they head for the 3rd quarter now. And by the scoreboard up front, you can see Huffman trying to dive over to the inside of Bagwell, almost into his left rear quarter panel. Huffman is set to charge beneath Bagwell if he can going into turn 1, and we're all slowing down. Obviously, we have a yellow and a spin on the back straightaway. That's Mike Swain Jr., 2nd-generation driver, in his initial start here at Myrtle Beach, doing a little lazy loop midway the back straightaway.
Swaim's been improving his driving after really never being in one of these cars. The second-generation runner out of High Point has a long, strong career ahead of him.
Lenny, his dad, a two-time national champion and posted 18 wins in his career of Goody's NASCAR dash racing. Mike Swaim certainly has some footsteps to follow. Danny Bagwell looks like he's got some problems while the yellow is out. Bagwell slowing down, the field rolling on by. Bagwell not under power. Problems on the little TCI Ford probe. He won't be going to victory lane tonight. Unfortunately for him, it looks like it's major. He's going to turn behind the wall. With this break in the action under yellow, we'll be returning to more racing here in the Husqvarna 100 at Myrtle Beach Speedway in just a few moments as Danny Bagwell makes the right-hand turn, and that's going to be an expensive one. Welcome back to Myrtle Beach Speedway, South Carolina's Sun Fun City, playing host to the Husqvarna 100. I'm Bill Hennessy along with Lenny Baticki and Hill Overton as we go back to green flag racing here. The Pontiac Sunfire of Robert Huffman of Claremont, North Carolina, being challenged by David Hutto, a young 17-year-old driver out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. They're up front, and looks like they're pulling away from most of the rest of the pack here.
David Hutto never let Robert Huffman get away from him on that restart, and for the sophomore driver, that's a bit more experience that he's showing.
One driver who wishes he were out there in competition right now is sitting with an engine that is cut off in the pits. He's with Hill Overton.
Danny, what happened to you out there?
I don't know. Something happened to the distributor. I believe the cap rusted. I don't know why it would bust, but apparently the cap's broken. I don't know if we maybe ran over something, and I don't know. It just quit. We're trying to get it fixed.
Well, for everybody but Danny Bagwell, the race goes on, and there's your leaders up towards the front. Mickey York challenging the David Hutto car and picks up second place. He's got his sights set on Robert Huffman, the leader, as they head for the first quarter.
And for York and the fans of the Mickey York team, that has got to be good news. Coming back up to the front again, the wounded engine in practice, in-car camera now, and look at him right there at the back. David Hutto, Larry Caudle, same view here on the racetrack. Hutto slips to the outside, and look at the move Caudle's putting to him.
Caudle went right down to the bottom of the racetrack and makes the move on David Hutto here on the front straightaway. Dives down to the bottom of the racetrack. But Hutto doesn't want to give up the position. See how long it takes him to get by? Almost a half a lap. And a crash down in the second corner. That's the 07 car. That is George Crenshaw, the national champions, pinned up against the outside retaining wall. That's Will Hobgood. Those two cars hung together. The 4 is Destry Gardner out of Asheboro, North Carolina.
And they're having a time getting apart. Finally, they do. And Hobgood worse for wear. The pace car just coming out. I think Crenshaw beat the pace car.
Yes, he sure did. Crenshaw will stay in the same lap with the leaders, even though he has damage on his car. All 3 cars beat the pace car, but Hobgood has a lot of damage on his brand new Pontiac Sunfire. Rear bumper cap dragging around on the car, and Hobgood hasn't had any good luck this year.
No, the first 3 races certainly haven't been kind to the Winnsboro, South Carolina runner, and you can see here that he will not be in victory lane tonight at Myrtle Beach.
Will Hobgood is a body man by profession. He'll have his work cut out for him as he heads towards the Dub Roundtree-led crew to work on the Win Oil number 65.
The crew is poised for Will Hobgood as he brings his Wins car down to pit road. The front end of all pushed in onto the radiator. A lot of damage to the back. They're pulling out sheet metal at the left rear of the car. A lot of smoke coming from around the car. The crew working feverishly around the automobile, trying to get the Will Hobgood car back into contention. There he goes out pit road.
Well, Overton trackside covering the pit stop of Will Hobgood as we go back to green flag racing. Robert Huffman brings him up to speed, and by the flag stand, Mickey York up to second place. Had his ills before the start of the race. Looks like he's got those resolved now as Larry Caudle rides in third in the Husqvarna Dodge.
B.J. Mackey making a move up through the field as he goes around the 96 car of Edward Howell. Mackey in the 11's just about to clear if he can. Of course, Howell would be thankful just to finish the race, as he commented earlier. He's been here 3 times to Myrtle Beach and hadn't been able to stick around for the checkers.
First time in this car tonight. Brand new ride for him, provided by Ellis Reagan. Up front, The Pontiac Sunfire leads the Pontiac Sunbird. That is Robert Huffman along with Mickey York. 3 champions running 1, 2, 3. York diving over to the inside now. York at the bottom of the racetrack would like to win here at Myrtle Beach tonight to change his luck. It hasn't been so good so far in the 95 racing season.
The 3-time most popular driver in the Dash Series, Mickey York, up front, and a big smile has got to come across this North Carolina racer's face as he's worked hard for this position.
In-car camera with Larry Caudle on the Husqvarna Dodge. He seems to be losing ground to first and second place. You can hear the engine on the car kind of lugged down as if maybe his brakes might be going away here. We heard from Ronnie Lewis along with David Watson on his team, and both of them say that he is reporting that the brakes are going away on the car. So it's going to be difficult for him to work traffic. If he does so, he's going to have to really play it gently getting into the corners.
Good look at Scott Weaver's number 2 machine out of Shelby, North Carolina, as Weaver comes around the corners. Hardest there in the 42 car chasing him around this big half-mile track. And once again, the leader, Mickey York, makes the turn off corner number 4 in front of a pretty well sizably filled grandstand here at Myrtle Beach.
Mickey York has always been one of the very best drivers here at Myrtle Beach. 3 wins. He's put himself in a position that he knows the quick line around the racetrack. And there we see Gary Moore going by the car driven by Johnny Smith. Gary Moore, the 99 driver, drives right down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's always one tough competitor, racing for Tommy Torbett and Lucas Oil Products. Gets a little bit loose over in the 4th quarter and gives up a car length to Johnny Smith.
Well, Moore may give up a car length right now, but in heart, he's there and then some as Moore continues to pester the driver of the 41 machine around Myrtle Beach Speedway. Moore's going to continue to try to find his line and maybe make the pass in the Virginia racer. While up front, the war continues between Mickey York and Robert Huffman. Huffman has seemed to have lost a little bit of ground as York has really got his Pontiac wound up at this point.
This is a big, fast racetrack. Sub 22-second laps over 90 miles per hour. That's what they're turning. And Mickey York looks like he might be headed for victory number 4 here at Myrtle Beach.
Now, we comment about the 2 different Pontiacs out here as York is in a little bit earlier version. Scott Weaver once again slicing up through the pack. Edward Howell again the victim of a car going around him. Not a promising night for Edward, but again he's still in the field. Weaver making the green car making laps, and there's David Hutto and Lyndon Amick, 2 of the young 17-year-old phenoms in the Dash Series. Hutto leading Amick.
Taking a quick look here at Dave Stacy's Ford Probe, the 6 car, tows all the way out here from Ohio to be involved in NASCAR Dash Series racing. Mickey York continues to be our leader here at Myrtle Beach. He's being chased by Robert Huffman. Huffman from Claremont, North Carolina, had a brief career in Busch Grand National competition, decided he would come back and race in the Dash Series, and he's found out that competition is just as tough as it's always been. As a matter of fact, it might even be a bit tougher.
Well, there goes Mickey around the 25 machine of Danny Snell, who had to start in this event on a provisional. You speak of Robert Huffman. He may be one of the only drivers in NASCAR racing that has ever won a race before he was considered a rookie. Back in '89 at Hickory, Robert Huffman won the event there and then finished as Rookie of the Year in 1990, the year which he was champion. Dwayne Haynes Jr. also being lapped by our leaders.
Huffman never likes to run second, but he's running right behind Mickey York at the present time. Lyndon Amick, David Hutto go by. Those 2 young drivers, 17 years old, and certainly proving their worth, but they have yet to score in competition. They still have that to look forward to. It seems like the generic group in the Dash Series are the guys taking the checkered flags, and the rookies are still learning their skills.
Amick starting to close in on Larry Caudle just a bit there on the front straightaway as the leaders come up on more lap traffic. Mickey York's number 24 car down the back straightaway right there at the midpoint of that section of the racetrack. Looks like he's having a pretty good little run right at this point. Fleet Cruz be the next car that Mickey will have to get around as we see another runner getting a little bit loose up there. I didn't see quite who that was.
This traffic right now is playing havoc with Mickey York. He goes to the high side of them, and at the same time Robert Huffman draws up to his rear bumper as they go by Fleet Cruz. They started passing Fleet over in turn 4, didn't get by him till they came off the 2nd quarter. Now they come up on one of the cars driven by one of the Jenkins boys. He's at the bottom of the racetrack trying to let them by on the high to the outside line. They get by. Now they come up on Donnie Duchene.
Looked like Daryl Murray was pulling down the pit road the last time the leaders went past at that point.
Challenging off the second quarter is Huffman. He goes to the whip. The Pontiac Sunfire gets to the quarter panel, but traffic that they're overtaking Donnie Duchene proves to be immovable. Even though Duchene is at the bottom of the racetrack, Huffman has to back out of the throttle momentarily, and in doing so, York maintains the lead.
York used Duchene just like a pick in NBA basketball. Stuffed Huffman's hopes for making the pass on that lap. Now Robert will have to wind it back up again if he hopes to get around Mickey York.
York riding the rails at the bottom of the racetrack has a perfect handling car set up by crew chief Billy Knight.
Mickey York knows how to get the most out of a race car, and right now he's doing so as he continues to thwart all the efforts of Robert Huffman around this big half-mile track in the grandstand. York, as you say, coming off the corner, extending his lead each and every time they make a turn.
Well, Billy Knight owns the car that Mickey York is driving. It's Billy Bird that's the crew chief on the cars. They come back to the start-finish line. York looks like he's going to lead this long green flag segment in the 24 Cobra entry. As he continues to lead here, we'll be back with more in a moment. Let's take a look at the top 5, and we'll be back. Welcome back once again to Myrtle Beach Speedway at the golf capital of the world, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm Bill Hennessy, along with Lenny Baticki and Hill Overton, with a very tight race for the lead. A little chrome horn action there as Robert Huffman leans on the rear bumper of Mickey York.
York was unable to use Chris Brown that time as a pick, as Huffman was able to stay right on the rear bumper of the Asheboro, North Carolina veteran. York bringing him out of corner number 2, with Huffman still close enough behind that certainly Mickey has got to continue to watch the mirror of the 24 machine.
Well, Billy Knight built the engine on the 24 car, while the engine in the car driven by Huffman is one from John Page Racing. Page down in the pits cheering his driver on here. He has a lot of confidence in Huffman. Huffman has taken his car to a national championship and many victories.
Out of the corner, they were able to get around Daryl Murray, who spent just a brief amount of time on pit road. The rookie contender still learning the ropes of the Dash Series. York and Huffman head back down the front straightaway. Mickey looks like things are going pretty well at this point for him, as Huffman is back by about 2 car lengths or so.
Mickey York, 47 years old, while Robert Huffman is 27 years old. Once again, those grizzly old veterans seem to know the quick way around a racetrack, and Mickey York has something magic in the setup of car number 24.
You know, you comment about Mickey's age. He may feel 10 years younger once he's in the lead of a race, but right now the calendar is certainly on his favor.
We're moving up on some more traffic as they head for the third quarter there. A little further back in the pack, there's plenty of racing going on as we see Johnny Smith go by, Dan Partis go by, Ronnie Goodwin up from the dirt tracks going to the inside of Dwayne Haynes. He doesn't want to go a lap down, as they're your leaders to the high side of Dwayne Haynes on the 51 car. They move down the back straightaway. Ronnie Goodwin from Laurel Hill, North Carolina, right in front of him. Goodwin came off of dirt track racing, raced at Lakeview Speedway, a nearby track, all last year in their 4-cylinder division.
One of the popular drivers in this rookie contender battle. Ronnie Goodwin is one of the nice guys in the pit area, and I certainly hope that that team is able to click throughout the season.
I can't believe how well York is running, considering all the troubles that he's been through in the 2 previous races and the problems he was encountering prior to bringing the car to the grid.
He was the last winner here at Myrtle Beach back in August of 1994, so he certainly knows a sweet line around the racetrack. And if the lucky rabbit's foot can stick in the 24, it may be his night once again here at Myrtle Beach. Huffman, though, starting to close in.
He's coming up on Dan Partis, goes to the high side of the 42 car, and right there with him is Gary Moore from Horseshoe, North Carolina. These 2 drivers nose to tail go to the high side of the racetrack. Moore and Partis stay low, but you can better believe that Huffman would like to be able to squeeze between Moore and 24 Mickey York to try to make the pass, but York covers down very well. Huffman goes to the bottom of the racetrack, comes up on some lap traffic. Now he does what I thought he would do, moved the 24 car up, but Daryl Murray blocks the way for Huffman to make the pass going through the first corner.
just as they got past the 45 of John Redmond, Huffman tried to make his move, but it was to no avail. Now he'll have to look to the outside of York's Pontiac to find a way around this racetrack as they continue to come off corner number 4. Again, Huffman searching. It's almost like a sub trying to find that one battleship out there in the murky waters. Where can he strike with the torpedo?
It's unbelievable that Mickey is able to hug the bottom of the racetrack right in the flat spot, puts the left front tire almost down in the grass. That car is handling very, very well. They come up to put Johnny Smith another lap down. Smith just hasn't had very good successful runs so far this year, but there's the pass for the lead. Going to the inside, trailing smoke. Robert Huffman draws abreast of Mickey York, side by side, wheel to wheel and hub to hub, as they say in short track racing. A classic race through the 3rd and 4th quarter.
I'll add door handle to door handle on that one as well as they go past Ernest Winslow's car that looks like he's pulled down pit road.
This is what the fans came to see. A great battle, and they're seeing that right now as Huffman gives up a little steam. York goes back to the lead. Huffman knows, I can draw abreast. Have I got enough to get by him?
Down again.
Challenges him again.
To the bottom of the racetrack. Huffman wants to take the spot. Look at him. He's going to push the car even though it's a little bit loose now. And that may be tire smoke as he is really shoving the car to the outside. The body roll on the machine. He goes to the lead now by just about a half a car length. And Huffman, the series points leader to this night, is out in front here clear as they exit this corner.
Watch this. He drove hard into the corner. The car skated around a bit. York came back down on the inside.
You can see the fans on their feet, Bill. Oh, and a crash.
Between turns 1 and 2 over the tunnel. And with a yellow out for Fleet Cruz and Scott Weaver, we're going to take this break. We'll be back with more exciting action in the Husqvarna 100 here at Myrtle Beach. Welcome back to the Husqvarna 100 at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Jimmy Howell, flagman, set to wave the green flag with Robert Huffman up front, followed by Mickey York and Larry Caudle. 3 national champions go back to racing here. Maybe that battle will resume between Huffman and York. Caudle would like a little of the action.
The 3 lead cars streak away from the pack as you see Mickey York and Larry Caudle, the 2nd and 3rd place racers, making their way around the backstretch, and now they'll catch up to leader Robert Huffman as he comes off of corner number 4 and heads down the front straightaway on this first lap of green flag racing.
Just beyond the halfway junction of this 100-lap event here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, Larry Caudle, in-car camera on the Husqvarna Dodge, comes almost up to the rear bumper of Mickey York. Sometimes he has some brakes, sometimes he doesn't, according to crew chief Ronnie Lewis, who's down there on the David Watson-owned car, starting to maintain a little distance between himself and Mickey there as the engine more or less is making the car slow down, getting into the corners. He loses 2 car lengths now as Huffman and York go back to battling each other.
All 3 of these former series champions know that now, as we're just past the halfway point, it is time to race for the dollars. On the outside is where York has thoughts of getting around Huffman. It's no good there. Huffman able to pull away as he entered corner number 1. York and Caudle will have to do a little bit of action here as they come through the corners. Mickey able to quickly get away from Larry Caudle.
Caudle, the winner of the Florida 200 back in February during Speed Weeks at Daytona, looking for his 2nd victory of the year. Mickey York just wanting Lady Luck to smile on him. Meanwhile, the leader looking for victory number 2 here at Myrtle Beach Speedway in the 95 racing season, having picked up a victory several weeks ago at Florence Motor Speedway.
The talented driver from Claremont, North Carolina, in the 37. That is a slick-looking Pontiac Sunfire, the new body style compared to the Sunbird that you see Mickey York here in the 24 running. York still in the older version Pontiac that competes in the Dash Series, and both cars pull out of the corner with Huffman in the lead.
It won't be long before he'll have brand new skin on that car. He's probably just waiting to damage a quarter panel or so, and then he'll change out the entire body. He's right there knocking on the door of Robert Huffman as they come down through the dog leg here on the front straightaway. They come up on the Darrell Murray car. We've got a yellow on the track, and with the yellow out for Donnie Duchene, we'll be back with more in just a few moments with the Husqvarna 100 at Myrtle Beach Speedway. We're seeing a barn burner of a race here in the Husqvarna 100 at Myrtle Beach Speedway tonight. Lap 65 has been posted. We're going back to green flag racing immediately, jumping inside the Larry Caudle car for a ride around Myrtle Beach Speedway as he follows Mickey York, a man who has won here. Caudle has yet to post a victory here at Myrtle Beach in all his tries. Meanwhile, let's look at Robert Huffman. He's about 5 car lengths ahead of York, who rides in second place.
What a great race here for the fans to see between two former series champions as York tries to hold off what looks like is a little bit faster Larry Caudle at this point of the race. Caudle searching the inside of the track now as he's still got to be very gentle with the brake problems that were reported earlier. Caudle will have to go to the outside at this point of the racetrack. York a little bit loose there on his own through the corner, and now to the inside. This is Larry Caudle's opportunity. York just ahead of him for a second here as they come off the Dodge Power, trying to outdo the Pontiac as they go into the corner. And whoa, boy, look at that Pontiac swoop in front of Larry Caudle's Dodge.
Mickey fought for the position all the way around the racetrack. He got loose out of turn 4. Caudle was able to get beneath him. They did not make contact out of the second quarter, but York fought for it tooth and nail all the way down the back straightaway. Caudle's car doesn't seem to quite have the edge that it needs.
York and Caudle, a little bit further separation between those two as they make their way into corner number 3. Mickey York.
Yellow is waving. Yellow being waved by Jimmy Howell. A car has stalled at the entrance to the pit lane. That happens to be Chris Brown out of Charlotte, North Carolina, sponsored by True Value Hardware Store. So the field under tow of the pace car. There's Chris Stahl there. We're going to take a look at Chris. But Davis Myers, who happens to be a young rookie challenger, leading the rookie points, is in the pit area. For him, he just wants to race and get a top 10 finish. How hard is it, Davis?
Well, what we hope to do, like I say, we're running this, our main goal is Rookie of the Year. And that's the way we gear up, set up the car, finish these races, try to stay ahead of all the rookies. Hopefully later on this year, we hope to have a little more comfortable lead if everything goes the way we hope. But then we're going to try to start just trying to get up some consistent, maybe some top 5 finishes. We've been right around 10th, 12th, 15th this year, which we're happy with that. But we hope later on in the season to move up to about a 5th.
Davis has had some successful runs, but still wants to crack that top 10 as we go back to green flag racing here on lap 71. And Robert Huffman goes right back up to the front. Caudle goes to the high side of Dan Partis, giving chase to Mickey York once again. Gets close to the rear bumper, but York pulls away, and Caudle gets loose out of the 4th quarter as they come back to the stripe.
Seeing the car shimmy shake from right inside the driver compartment here. Looking at Mickey York's rear tail, and then further up ahead, this man, the 37, Robert Huffman. Huffman got a much better restart after that last caution, and York has been able to just maintain about a 3-car length separation. Here it goes even to 4. York not quite as challenging for Robert Huffman at this point in the race.
Huffman and York's cars have been running like precision Swiss watches. Those cars have been hooked up and getting around this racetrack. Now, you got to give some credit to the Husqvarna Dodge. It is right in there in 3rd place. B.J. Mackey having a battle, the two 17-year-olds, he and the David Hutto car. And right behind him is Dave Stacy and the Hobart Welding Ford Probe.
3 of the new names in the NASCAR Goodies Dash Series, and Mackey a little bit loose there alongside of his classmate, both going to school in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Hutto on the outside. Looks like his car might be a little bit stronger, but Mackey's handling better on the inside. And there's George Crenshaw.
Junior senior was last night for these two drivers. BJ went to the prom. David came down here and raced go-karts. So I would have liked to seen B.J. Mackey last night in his tuxedo at the same time. Hutto says, I really didn't miss anything. I was having fun at the beach already.
Not a bad deal. Each driver having his own unique perspective on where he wants to be in life at this point. Dave Stacy right in the middle of two-car battles as they circulate around corner number 3 here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Mickey York now on the inside of Robert Huffman. And look at this. He's going to take it away from him. Mickey York puts the 24 car out in front once again, and the only driver to win here at Myrtle Beach Speedway who's still actively in competition is at the point once again.
It hasn't been an easy race for York. He didn't just take the lead and pull away. This time he's had a battle all night long with Robert Huffman. Huffman is right there on his heels. Huffman is still in a position to win this race. Mickey York looks like his luck has changed, and he's on his way perhaps to getting close to getting a victory here tonight.
The crew's hard work in hustling the engine change right before the green flag, or actually the driver grid, got Mickey York to this point, and he's doing his part as a driver, keeping the 24 car in competition and now in front of points leader Robert Huffman.
Caudle has lost some ground to first and second place. The brakes a bit spongy, they say. So for him, it's just trying to give chase to the first and second place runners. Mickey York works off the corner through the dog leg here, rolls it right. Oh, he's got problems.
York's engine looks like it has just erupted down the front stretch. Oh, what a tough night. Oh, what a tough way to end the night for Mickey York after such a promising run.
He greased down the track down in turns 1 and 2. He shut the engine down. Whatever happened to that car? It either blew a hose off or has let a rod go through the side of the block, but he has major problems as he's headed down the pit lane now, and he's got to be disappointed. A group from the church down here from Asheboro, North Carolina, sitting in the grandstands cheering their driver on, and he has made it down to the pit lane now and pulling into his pit stall. Mickey York has got to be disappointed. They'll be opening up the hood to check out the damage to the Cobra Electronics number 24. Lady Luck continues to frown on Mickey York. And lots of steam and smoke from beneath the engine. Let's go down trackside. Hill Overton is there. Mickey York has the window net down.
What happened to put all that smoke out?
I think something broke inside the engine. Don't know. Can't say enough about this Cobra Electronics Pontiac. My guys, they worked their tails off today, and they do it for me as friends, and I appreciate it. I can't say enough for them, and just look forward to winning one for them before long.
Well, you were the only guy going in tonight that had ever won here that's still active at Myrtle Beach, and it looked like you were going to maintain that record. I was already making my speech up for you for Victory Lane, and tough break.
Thanks. I appreciate y'all being here. We really enjoy it, and look forward to next weekend.
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. The lapped cars on the inside led by Dan Partis. Jimmy Howell waves the green flag just as the cars come off corner number 4, and Robert Huffman gets a good jump going down into corner number 1.
Whoa, did you see that? Looked like Caudle got right into the back of Robert Huffman here. Huffman goes spinning around. This has to be disappointing for the man who has led a great deal of this race. Got the car at the bottom of the racetrack. It's a bit rough down there. Gets it hooked up and starts to pull away from the scene. But the complexion of this race has changed quickly. Let's go inside camera on the replay. Caudle obviously loose on the brakes. Hits the rear end of the Robert Huffman car, and Huffman goes spinning around. The damage is heavy to the front of the 12 car of Caudle as we take a look from another angle here. And the rear end damage on Huffman's car is extensive. He gets into him. The car starts to go around. This is a chance that Caudle could have been pinned against the outside retaining wall here as Huffman went around. Fortunately for Huffman, he was not tagged by any other driver. Lyndon Amick takes evasive action along with Gary Moore as they smartly move up the racetrack with B.J. Mackey. Obviously, the brakes a problem for Larry Caudle as he goes into the back of Huffman. We go back to green flag racing. And Caudle is your leader, but look at the damage on the front of the Husqvarna Dodge.
You can see the smoke, the tire smoke on that car. There's Lyndon Amick and B.J. Mackey. Amick has now moved into the second spot with Mackey in third as they go past Gary Moore. And for Lyndon Amick, the second-year driver who finished 10th in the points a season ago, this has got to be a great opportunity for him to forward his career. Again, you see the smoke off the Husqvarna Dodge. Caudle's going to have to nurse this car around if he hopes to take it home the victory. B.J. Mackey chasing Lyndon Amick off corner number 2. And once again, Amick has just got to be excited about the position he is in following the two-time national champion Larry Caudle.
Caudle's car with a lot of damage on the front end. It's hard for me to believe he did that on purpose. We see smoke boiling off the left front tire. He may not be able to go the distance. Meanwhile, we have a spin, and that's Ronnie Goodwin, the Laurel Hill, North Carolina driver, spinning over in turn 3.
Goodwin coming off corner number 4, easing it around here as the cars are under caution. Everybody going to collect themselves. Tough night for Ronnie Goodman. Had kept himself right in the hunt all the way to this point. The Husqvarna Dodge going to ease him off corner number 4. Amick right there behind him with Mackey. And here comes Robert Huffman down on pit road, sparks flying out of the Pontiac.
Huffman with lots of damage on his car, sustained in the crash down in turn number 1. Kelly Huffman, the crew chief, his brother, working on the left front of the car, hopefully getting him back into contention. He is running for the points championship, and this is certainly going to be disheartening for his chances of winning a championship, the second one in his career here early in the season, suffering damage on his Pontiac Sunfire. He's back out onto the racetrack, hopefully back into contention here tonight. He did not go a lap down. Larry Caudle now pulling away from Lyndon Amick, and Amick in a position maybe to win here also. And George Crenshaw to the inside of B.J. Mackey with a damaged race car. He's going to third place. That car was damaged in an earlier altercation, but he did not go a lap down. He's doing a phenomenal job running in third at the present time.
Damaged cars in first and third, a battle of the walking wounded. Lyndon Amick, though, the one clean car in this one, could be a factor at the end of the night. That's got to have his attention.
Lyndon Amick could possibly be a winner.
I tell you, it means a lot, you know, for this team and for Amick Farms. It'd just be real good for us to get our first win here at Myrtle Beach. You know, it's kind of like a home track to us. We especially like to come down here for the beach anyway.
Well, Lyndon Amick certainly hope that he can get by the car that is leading, which is damaged, and that is Larry Caudle. Amick is getting close. We're running out of time here. He's going to have to make the move, but at the same time, Caudle has to be concerned that the left front tire could go down on that car, and if it does, he will leave it wide open for Lyndon Amick to win his first victory ever. Meanwhile, Caudle has never won here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and he's in a position to pick up the win, but George Crenshaw with a damaged car is right there. More smoke boils off the left front tire of the 12 Husqvarna Dodge as he continues to run with his fingers crossed. Amick is starting to challenge. We're running out of laps.
Amick, though, going to use up some of the racetrack to find a way around Larry Caudle. And this second generation or second season driver is going to have to find all the experience he can and then some. Hopefully maybe somebody can go over to Mickey York and get him on the headset and somehow try to find a way into there, because Amick's going to need a lot of savvy experience to get around Caudle as they come off corner number 4. Amick going wide once again, and there's Crenshaw right with the leaders.
White flag, final lap. Will that left front tire last the distance? Will Caudle win here, or will it be Lyndon Amick? Amick is there, now starting to hound the rear deck lid of the 12 car. Larry Caudle's Dodge to the high side of Scott Weaver. That may be the break that he needs. The car skates around just a little bit. Amick comes to the inside, skates the car to the bottom of the racetrack in the drag race out of turn 4. He loses. Larry Caudle wins here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Fantastic finish to the Husqvarna 100.
The Husqvarna 100 has concluded here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Larry Caudle has won. A disappointing crash for Davis Myers on the last lap. He's okay. Ronnie Goodman will be the rookie of the race. A faltering race car heads towards victory lane for Larry Caudle. You perhaps want to know what took place in turn 1? Well, Hill Overton happens to be with Robert Huffman.
Robert, you ran so well tonight, and it appeared after some scenes there where you were smoking and everything, it looked like you were going to be able to hang on and win this one, but it was not to be. What is your version of what happened over there between you and Larry in the first turn?
Well, you know, first of all, I got to thank all the guys that work on the car. And we had a super race car tonight. The only other car I thought could beat us was Mickey, and, you know, me and Mickey run side by side, me and Danny run side by side, and Larry couldn't even touch us. I don't know what he was thinking there on that restart. He just ran there and turned me around. You know, the whole quarter panel was tore off the car, and I guess we'll just come back next week and outrun him because we're in this deal for the points.
What a racer Robert Huffman is. He hung on to 6th place, finishing in the lead lap, as did the top 10, which we'll take a look at now. Larry Caudle has won here at Myrtle Beach. Now moving to the points chase. Larry Caudle has assumed the lead by 2 points over Robert Huffman. 657 to 655. George Crenshaw is third with a good run here at Myrtle Beach with 631. There's your top 5 in points. For the victor, he's in victory lane. Hill Overton has now moved in a position to talk to the winner, Larry Caudle.
Larry, not the way you'd want to win it, but by golly, it's a win nevertheless.
Yeah, and I hate it. Just got through talking on the PA that it's not my style of racing, and for guys that can go back to 75 when I started, I don't wreck people like that. I'd a lot rather finish second place and have my race car in one piece and him in one piece. We had brake problems about 10 laps in the race. I don't know what's happened to the car, but under green flag conditions, if I'd pump the brakes once or twice, I'd get a brake pedal, and I could slow it down. And went in down there in that corner, I pumped him twice, and it went all the way to the floor both times. And I'm sure it'll show on the tape, as hard as I hit him, you got to know something happened to the race car. If I want to spin him out just to win a race, there's a lot easier ways to do it, and you don't tear your race car up, and definitely don't tear somebody else's up. I apologize to him and his crew. I apologize to NASCAR and the fans.
A triumphant Larry Caudle, sincerely apologetic and humble in his victory over 29 super competitors.
Well, they're breaking up victory lane here at Myrtle Beach Speedway for the Goody's NASCAR Dash Husqvarna 100. It was one exciting race, thrilling right to the end.
NASCAR Dash racing at its competitive best. Huffman and then Caudle and even Amick all providing a great show here at the beach.
Until our next race, I'm Bill Hennessy for Lenny Baticki and Hill Overton. We'll see you at the races.